Now, it relates to a parallel question in science. Is our universe fine-tuned? It's very close to the first question. Is it directional? Is it fine-tuned? Here there's a very close question to each other. Is directional? Is it teleology? Aristotle, yes. Atheists, no. Is it fine-tuned? It's a scientific question. Is it fine-tuned? Well, in the 1900s, meaning the 20th century, there was a series of books, probably crescendoing with a book by Sir Martin Rees. He's now Sir Martin Rees. In that establishment, in that British establishment, which says there are at least 6 constants to the universe which had to be fine-tuned in order for there to be a possibility of life. That was 1999. Now 2016, now they're going wisdom. I looked it up on Wikipedia this morning just to be up to date. 26 constants. Because if I look next year, the number will be higher. So according to Wikipedia today, of course the Wikipedia is now the source of our Bible for everybody, the source of all wisdom. The going consensus, scientific, is that there are 26 constants in the universe. They say 25 plus 1. See the entry, right? See the Wikipedia entry. Well, there are 26 constants in the universe, which had to be exactly precise to like 25 decimal point for there to be a possibility of life. Well, Mr. Atheist, how did that possibly happen? So Mr. Martin Rees, part of that club, said, well, how did it happen? If everything's random, it must be multiverse. It's 2 nonsense theories marry each other, and they each refer to the other. The multiverse refers to randomness, and the randomness refers to multiverse. And as we speak, very talented people are devoting their lives to multiverse. I guarantee no one can follow their equation. And there's no double check on them. So, but they're forced into that turf by groupthink. Groupthink, in England in particular, is that everything's random. Random, how do we get to Lisa? Must have been infinite universe. If they're infinite universes, maybe in one of the universe, all 4 of you happen to make an appearance on the Star deck, on the Enterprise, Starship Enterprise deck. You have to make an appearance. Right. And it just shows you how far groupthink can take you. Groupthink can get you in trouble. I don't need tenure. They can't block my tenure. They actually have tried to block me and trash me. But I have prevailed in my own way. Right. Because the argument is never, well, you're wrong because these reasons. All argument is always, you're wrong because you're a terrible person. You're too rich, you're too poor, whatever it is, you're a terrible person. There's a group called Intelligent Design, which propounds that there is design to the universe, which there is. But the other part of their coin is that everyone believes that their whole agenda is Christianity. They all happen to be Christians. Christian God. They never say it. So they're sort of suspect. Because according to them, it came in one shot. You evolved, your life form is evolved at this level of evolvement. Remember, according to Summa theory, it's evolution friendly. We've evolved over the eons. But according to intelligent design, it was one-shot creation, which is also literal interpretation of Genesis. Okay. Now, but let's understand. Intelligent design, according to me, is half right. There is design, but we're designing it. But it's not one shot. It's evolutionary. But that group was trashed for 20, 30 years by the atheist group, which is heavily funded. Be aware what's going on. That's the basic concept. Now, there's now a new group in America, MIT, etc., big California schools, which is simpatico to my little treatise. So, for instance, there's a book in 2006, a series of books by Seth Lloyd. He's professor of quantum mechanics at MIT, programming the universe. So Lloyd is 2006. Understand the sequence. According to Lloyd, the universe is one big computer. So I'm saying that, I don't use that word, so I don't like the terminology, but I'll get back to it. But remember, my first book's 1988, then 2005, and 2014. So he's saying outright, it's one big computer, supercomputer. Well, I don't like the word computer. It sounds like we're too mechanistic. I like the universe a metaphysical organism, constantly iterating and interacting, iterating and feedback looping with itself. What you've learned somehow goes back to all of us. Somehow, in your lifetime, it somehow is absorbed by the whole. Well, Lloyd was roundly condemned naturally, but he's still in there. He's the head of one of the major institutes. His credentials are so powerful that MIT holds him. Okay. Now, nearby here, 2012 at NYU, downtown, is Professor Thomas Nagel, professor of law and philosophy. He wrote a book, Mind and Cosmos. And what Nagel says, which seems so, how should I say, you'd say, what's the big deal? What Thomas Nagel says is that since there's consciousness, there must be direction to the universe. Okay, I mean, fine. He's attacked, virulently attacked by the British crew. Then, now, here's the play. Commentary magazine is a big intellectual magazine, sort of Jewish-backed. Rarely gets into philosophical matters. It's more political matters, typically. Or, art world, that sort of stuff, intellectual thinking. So they published a big piece by a guy named Galanter at Yale, who rips into the attack on Nagel by the atheist group in England. You follow the triangle? So Galanter and Yale gets a piece published in Commentary. So Commentary by its DNA is simpatico to Jewish religion. It's simpatico, even though it's not a religious magazine, but it's sort of simpatico. It doesn't do front and center because it doesn't go there. It's not a religious magazine. If you ask them directly, they all say they're agnostic. But their DNA is simpatico to Judaism, which is not random. Okay? Nagel was not Jewish. He's at NYU. He says there must be direction to the universe because there's consciousness. The atheist group from London is trashing Nagel, being a jerko. So Commentary gives Galanter a forum to beat back on the atheists. It's an interesting dynamic from my perspective. And that big piece has gotten major traction. You can Google Galanter, Nagel, and you hit the piece. Or we produce it on my little site. Yeah. Then the big slugger is actually, it's yet to come. Max Tegmark, again at MIT. He's like the second big gun at MIT I'm talking about now. Our mathematical universe. And he's saying it's one big matrix. He's saying what Spinoza said hundreds of years ago, but he's saying in different terms. Spinoza is dealing philosophically, and Tegmark is giving allegedly the hard math. Everyone wants the hard math at the end of the day, but the hard math may take 1 billion years to get to. But Tegmark is going to be a stab at it. And Tegmark is strong, very strong. Interesting situation. So, I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a physicist, although I have dangerous layman's knowledge combined with Wikipedia knowledge in many fields now. Very dangerous. But we're all armed now. Wikipedia arms all of us now. Before we could you don't know that. No, you can look it up, Wikipedia, whatever the concept is. You can go through Wikipedia, you go through the footnotes, look up the other you can have a respectful working knowledge of many, many fields today, if you have the time. So Tegmark is coming to bat saying, matrix universe. And you sort of see how everything now gets curiouser and curiouser, right? Like you say, just maybe this boy David Birnbaum is right. And I don't say I'm right. I say I might be right. Okay, Chief?